I started out as a bass player in New York City, playing in touring bands and things, and I moved to Florida to play with a band called White Witch. I was a Capricorn recording artist, and after leaving New York and coming to Florida, there was no reason to go back to that weather, and I stayed in Florida. That was 1975, and I noticed there was a shortage of good places to buy musical instruments, and I decided that I was going to open up kind of a swap shop for musicians, buying and selling used gear. And I built a chain of music stores called Thoroughbred Music. The first new line I had was Dean guitars, and back then, this is about 1978, 79, and here's this guitar with this crazy headstock, this pointy headstock, and it just was very radical. The points on the body, the look of it, and it was kind of taken. People didn't know what to make of it, but I just always had this affinity for the company. I thought it was a cool idea. The company never really got very big. By the late 80s, it was, pretty much out of business at that time, and all their assets were sold at auction. And, I kind of followed the name, and I was able to buy what was left of it, which was nothing more than this Dean logo. That's all that was left. And when I bought it, my friends in the industry, I know a lot of people in the music industry, said, "Why did you buy this? This thing is like 10 feet underground." We really had a lot of work ahead of us to rebuild the company. But once again, in the 70s and 80s, there were a lot of rock stars playing the guitars, which gave people a lot of memories of the company. We had, people like, ZZ Top and Heart and Kansas and Doobie Brothers, all the bands of the 70s and 80s, they all were featured in videos. This is a big time for MTV. They were featured in videos, and people knew the names. So I knew there was something that we could build upon. 1997 comes, we buy this logo, decide to start out making electric guitars and acoustics, but unfortunately, we couldn't get anyone to pick up one of our electric guitars. It was just impossible. So we said, you know what, if they don't buy electrics, we'll sell them acoustics, we'll sell them dobros, we'll sell them basses, we'll sell anything we can just to get our foot in the door. It went quite well because we had a lot of value and a lot of instrument for the money, and had a very diverse line of guitars. We decided to do another run at electric guitars, and this time they were finally starting to stick. This was kind of the centerpiece of what we did, because this is what we were known for. And we did that, through the 90s, started signing artists. Things were really starting to go well. We decided to diversify. Why don't we do bolt-on guitars? Why don't we do 6-in-line headstocks? Why don't we do single-cut guitars? And at first, it's the same thing. People say, you're not known for that, it won't work. And little by little, people began to realize these guys could build a great single cutaway. They could build a great 6-in-line guitar. We got some shredders like Michelangelo, Vinnie Moore, people like that playing our guitars. People around the world saw these artists playing our guitars, and they took a liking to them. We decided to build USA electric guitars, because if you think about the companies that make high-quality USA guitars, there's really very few. And we felt that would be a great flagship for our line. So we put a USA custom woodworking shop here in our Tampa facility and started building, 60, 80 guitars a month. We're not looking to be the biggest. We're just looking to turn out great quality guitars. A lot of custom orders such as were done in the 80s. It's working. People love the guitars. With us building in-house, we're able to offer USA guitars for under $1,000. So someone could buy a USA guitar for the price of a Korean guitar. We build in a week and a half what the company did in the 80s in a year. A big turning point for us was 2004. After many years, Dimebag Darrell expressed interest in coming back to Dean. As we all know, he played Dean's since he was 14 years old, recorded with him, played with him live. When the company was dormant, he decided to go find another endorsement. Fast forward to 2004, Dime comes to us. We discuss building guitars. We let him play some of our guitars. He was blown away by the quality and how the guitars played. In fact, he thought that we had set up these guitars built them especially for him. And we said, look, pick up any guitar in the rack. They all play the same. And he was so blown away, 12 weeks later, he signed with us. The bad news was 6 weeks after that, he was murdered. But his memory's with us, his legacy is with us, his family. We work very closely with the estate, and there were a lot of drawings and things that Dime had left us with, such as this Razorback. This Razorback is, this shape is without a doubt, the most known body shape in metal music today. You know, we've shipped over 10,000 of these bodies, and Dime never got to play this guitar. He did the drawing on his tour bus, he faxed it to us, we built him the first sample, and December 9th, the day after he was murdered, was the day he was going to do the press release and the first ad on this guitar. But, you know, again, his memory is with this. I know that he'd love to see this guitar at market. He wants, you know, his fans, he's very big on his fans having great guitars to play. He wanted to make sure the guitars weren't too heavy, that they played right, the action was low, the frets weren't too wide. And, you know, we feel very secure that we've accomplished that, and we've been building his guitars for 4 years now, and they just don't lose any steam. And it's just great to have, you know, his memory here every day. So, you know, we're honored to have that, but that was a big shot in the arm for our company as well. Last year we started winding our own pickups, which is another major improvement to the guitars. You know, even our upper end import guitars now have our custom wound pickups. We have, you know, 4 winding machines. We have guys, you know, all day long doing nothing but winding pickups for us, custom winding pickups for artists. We have pickups for Leslie West and Vinnie Moore and Michelangelo Badio and Michael Schenker, and on and on and on, wound to their specifications. We'll keep winding samples until they hear a pickup that they're satisfied with. So that's another thing that we're able to do. Besides being custom guitars, we're able to now provide these custom pickups, which really has added a whole new dimension to our guitars. So all in all, taking more and more things in-house, really working on the quality of the instruments, making them better all the time, I think is going to make us a top 10 guitar company and keep us there.